This is what we got today. Our house has two separate central air systems. One for upstairs, one for downstairs. The upstairs one, as you can hear, it's running. Right? It's good. As a matter of fact, that's the newest system. The downstairs one failed on, well, it started to fail on Monday. Monday, Tuesday. No, I take that back. It started to fail on Sunday, but I didn't realize what was going on because it was making a clicking noise, from this part, and I didn't realize what was going on at the time. But it was starting to fail on Sunday. Monday afternoon, it completely failed. How I knew? Downstairs got so hot. so I turned on the blower motor. I put it in manual mode. Came out and the blower wasn't blowing. Went inside, nothing at the vents. I said, But the compressor and the evaporator fan they were coming on. Not for long though. And when I touched this, I mean, it was ice cold, like freezing cold, and it's hot in Virginia right now. But this was ice cold. So I said, But I was hearing this clicking noise again. So that sounds like a blower motor failure. I took the panel off. That's why those screws on top there. I took the panel off and I found out that the blower motor failed. The blower motor failed, basically. And I got the part number, tracked down the exact part that I need, and I contacted. I'm not gonna say the name of the. I'm not gonna say the name of the unit, but I've contacted the manufacturer's part supply or parts outlet store that's local to me, and they told me that they don't sell to homeowners. They only sell to businesses, like repair companies. I said, He said, yeah, it's a liability thing. I said, that's interesting, thank you. So I called up Grainger. Well, actually, I found the part on Grainger's website, and then I called them up just to verify. Here it is right here. And you don't have to program it. You could just mount it and go. If it needs to be programmed, it's Bluetooth. So you can download the app and program it. All right. Grainger had no issue selling me the doggone part. All right. I want you to think for a second. All right. Imagine this. You own a car. You're a DIY type person. You could change your own brakes. You go to the dealership. The dealership tell you no. We don't sell parts to the owner of the vehicles. We will only sell parts to a shop. Imagine that for a second. If you own a Tesla, this don't apply. You're already experiencing that. Yeah, that was a jab. But if you own a Tesla, you're already experiencing that. But imagine you own your Chevy pickup truck, your Nissan, whatever, and you need some brake pads or rotor. You go to the dealership. They say, no, we only sell to doggone to shops, or of course employees of the shops, technicians, if you will. Just imagine that for a second. That would be wild, wouldn't it? Well, that's what's going on here. They told me that they only sell to businesses like HVAC repair companies. HVAC repair companies. But that's the motor right there. That's what we're removing, and that's what we're gonna replace with this. But in here, that right there, the evaporator, that thing was, I mean, there was ice cubes down there. It was so cold because the blower wasn't blowing the air up, and it was like rocking back and forth and clicking. I even jumped it. I spun it, and eventually it caught, and it started to spin a little bit, but it was making one heck of a racket, like a bad bearing or something. But again, I got the part. We're gonna swap her out and get the AC going again. All right, to avoid electrocuting myself, I turned off the breaker and I pulled the cutout with the 2 big fuses on it. So I killed all the power. I'm gonna give it a few minutes just in case there's any residual. You know how capacitors could be. And I'm also gonna test it to make sure there's no juice, because I don't need to be jump started today. All right, so you remove this screw right here. You remove the ground. Again, I already tested the terminals. No juice. The breaker's off and the cutout has been pulled. Then you remove all of these. That way you can remove the motor with the fan blade on it. If you just remove these 4, you won't be able to get the motor because the fan is still attached. And so just start pulling these. Thankfully, we still have the upstairs unit because my wife's office is upstairs, and she's been working from home the past few days. And the cold air, it falls, it comes down the stairs and makes downstairs a little bit more tolerable. Because right now, again in Virginia, it is hot. All right. Then we're gonna unplug the wires. Right there. See, on the back it's blue, black, red, and the front it's red, then black. Boy, just trying to get this stuff back here. Gonna keep it out of my way as I work. All right, disconnected. Move that one. If you don't have an impact driver, you need to get one. Pull this out. All right, and there's the emergency heat in there. So when your system kicks on emergency heat and your doggone electric meter spinning like a top, it's because that is engaged. But this is what we're replacing right here. What I did, I used my tape measure and measured how far down on the shaft that was. It was exactly 7/8 of an inch. So when I put it on the new motor, at least I have a number to work with. And I sprayed it with some of my Lucas CLP, and it penetrated all the way down. I undid the jam nut. It slid right off. All right, to get the motor out of the cradle, you undo the band. See, it's a band that mounts it in there. So you undo the band, and you can slide the motor out. All right, that's the new motor right there. That's the old one. It's 230 volts, just like the old one. But this one, if you need to jump it down to 115, you can open up this little port and insert the jumper right here. You stick this in here, and it takes it down to 115 volts. we don't have to worry about that. So this can stay closed. There we go. Yeah, that can stay closed. So let's get that out and this in. All right, what I did, I used my tape measure, and before I removed the band from the old motor, I measured how far down it was from the top to where the band started. It was exactly 2 inches. So that's what I got. I got 2 inches all the way around. 2 inches all the way around, 2 inches. So we're good there. And I know that needs to go down on that 7/8 of an inch. This is already tightened up. These are tightened up. So let's get that on and get it back in the unit. All right, it's mounted on there exactly 7/8 of an inch. Down on the shaft, 7/8 of an inch. Snugged up. And now to get this back in there. All right, the new motor is all wired in, spins freely. The ground is hooked up, so let's go turn on the breaker. Actually, I'm gonna put in the cutout, then turn the brake on. And that is doing this thing, and look at that. We're in business, buddy. It's trying to figure out which direction it needs to rotate. So you know it's gonna go the other way. I don't know if you could see it. It was going that way. You see the arrow? It needs to go this way. So no, it's going the correct way. What it does is I could feel it. Oh man, that's it right there. So now I gotta put this on. See, this is getting real cold. Yeah, that's already freezing cold. That's what I'm talking about right there. So now I need to put this on so it can so that it could pressurize this compartment and it'll blow the air in there. Right now it's blowing the air towards me. But it's working. It's doing its thing. So let's get this on there. All right, all done. Got a brand new blower motor in. That's the old one. The new one is in. It's doing its thing. And the AC now is colder than it's ever been because I realized something. The insulation on the inside of this panel had pulled off of the panel. So it was getting sucked against the, I don't even know what you call it. It was blocking the flow. So I taped it for now until I get some new insulation. So now it's not blocking the flow anymore. So we should get much more airflow on the inside. All right, in the kitchen, this duct is the farthest one downstairs for the downstairs HVAC. This thing is blowing. That's what I'm talking about. And it's dropping. That's what I'm talking about. This is nice and cool. And it's just getting colder and colder as it cools down the downstairs. So remember, the HVAC has been off since Monday. It's been turned off since Monday. So it's just gonna get cooler and cooler. This feels so much better. All right, we're in business. All right, of course, my wife is happy because now I could turn down the upstairs unit a little bit because the upstairs unit was working overtime trying to keep upstairs and downstairs cool. So now that the downstairs unit is back online, after putting the new blower motor in, I was able to turn that one down a bit. Because even in the dog days of summer, when these two things are working, man, it keeps the house nice and cool. Although this house is old, these units can keep her cool. Time to put the tools away. We're done.